this morning, it's literally just reported. I didn't hear any whispers. I don't know if you did. Adam Scheffler says the Jets and the Dolphins, they're in the market for Tyreek Hill. They both have offers. And maybe an hour later, Tyreek Hill's a Dolphin. He's not a Chief. And I was blown away. I couldn't believe it, dude.
Wow. Yeah, I think I woke up probably like 10 minutes after the news dropped that he got traded. But god damn, that shit was fast. Like, I see my past notifications, and like you said, it was like Jets and Dolphins interest. Like, that shit happened quick, dude. Let me pull up the trade details for you guys, for the audio listeners. Max, go ahead and tell them the details.
So the Dolphins get, let me save the Dolphins. The Chiefs get for Tyreek Hill a 2022 first-round pick, which is the 29th in this draft, the 2022 second-round pick, which is the 50th, a fourth this year, and then the next year they're going to get a fourth and a sixth. The Dolphins get Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill gets rewarded with a 4-year, $120 million contract with $72 million guaranteed at signing. Or not $72 million guaranteed at signing, but $72 million guaranteed throughout the contract.
So this is the way I heard it. It's $120 million total. You get that signing bonus, but the rest of the guaranteed is guaranteed after the first year. So the beginning of the 2023 season is when he'll get paid that if he's still on the roster, in case some crazy AB shit happens.
I mean, is it crazy? I mean, he's Tyreek Hill. He kind of had a check past, and that's no disrespect to him. It's just a fact.
No, most definitely. You gotta put some type of thing on it, and
protection if you're the team for Tyreek Hill. I mean, it was a couple years ago where he was suspended 8 games for domestic abuse with his son. The Chiefs gave him a contract even after that, and he's been a great football player for them.
But the Chiefs lucked out at that time. Like, this is why
I think they got him on a little bit of a discount because of all the crap happening to him. And the Chiefs, let's be real, they took a swing at this guy after coming out of college. He got dismissed from Oklahoma State for domestic abuse. It happened again once he was in the NFL. They stood by him again. And this time, there was no incident this time, but he wanted money, and the Chiefs weren't going to give him that money. Let's put it simple like that. The Jets were talked about getting him. They got a lot more from the Dolphins. Dolphins are making some moves, man, but I texted you this morning. Does this make Kansas City the worst team in the division? It was with group text between you and Joey. Joey goes, they have the best quarterback still. That's true, but if you have the best quarterback, you're going to get rid of the best receiver in football potentially, or let's just say the most dangerous receiver in football that opens up the whole offense so a 33-year-old tight end and Travis Kelce can do his thing underneath.
Yeah. I mean, this is what made them special. Patrick Mahomes, fantastic. Travis Kelce, as advertised. But Tyreek Hill, he brought a different type of element. And I would say he transformed the game today. Like, how many teams are trying to find their Tyreek Hill? I seen it. I had front row seats to it. Henry Ruggs with the Raiders. They were trying to build, like the Kansas City Chiefs, that deep vertical offense. And let's just be straight up. Like, there's no one out there like Tyreek Hill. There's no one out there like him.
Well, that's perfect. You said that. That's perfect. You said that because you talked about Henry Ruggs. So if I'm just a casual fan, I think, who's the fastest guys in the NFL? Henry Ruggs before Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, throw in maybe Rondale Moore, whoever else you want.
I wouldn't even Jamar Chase. Yeah, I think Jamar Chase is probably, it's just them two.
Are they in the same class as Tyreek Hill?
I will put Jamar Chase in the same class as Tyreek Hill.
Maybe straight line, dude, but I just think the explosiveness from Tyreek, the little jitterbug cuts. Like, for me, everyone's been chasing him since he got into the NFL, literally and metaphorically. They're all trying to find him. And it's not just his speed that makes him good. We've seen plenty of fast guys who can't play dead. No. He literally put the speed together, and I get they manufacture some of the yards for him on sweeps, but do they win that game in Buffalo if they don't have Tyreek Hill? What happens in the playoff game next year?
Look, I said it in the group text. I think we're always comparing the Chiefs to the Warriors, especially me and you. And to me, it's like they just lost Klay Thompson.
Why
That's
Klay?
Tyreek Hill. I think it's because they both have that ability, Max, which you're always talking about with Klay. When he's hot, he's hot. Like he can drop like 50 to 60 points. And I think it's the same thing with Tyreek Hill. He can open up the game on any given play for an 80-yard just fucking straight line speed run and passing the whole defense, and he's saying peace in the end zone. Like that's who Tyreek Hill is.
Do you remember the game against Tampa Bay last year in the regular season, or 2 years ago in the regular season, where he had 200 receiving yards in the first half?
Yeah,
that's gone. That right there. How many receivers do you say, oh man, he had 200 yards? No, that's Tyreek Hill. Really, that's his specialty. Where it's hugely just wow. He had so many yards. It's just feast. And sometimes it can be famine with him, and that's not that's just kind of the nature of his game.
That's why you can't put in stats with Tyreek Hill. Like you can't just look at the stats and be like, oh, why is this guy so good? It's like it's all the other stuff. It's the element that he brings. You know, it's the defense with Clay, you know, stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. With Tyreek Hill, it's literally picking your poison. It's like, oh, we can't bracket Kelsey because we have this motherfucker running a 40-yard deep post at fucking 26 miles per hour.
With
like, it's unheard of.
With football, it's like 11 on 11, right? I feel like when you have Tyreek Hill, it's literally 9 on 11, 9 on 10, maybe. Because what I mean by that is like you have to commit the corner to him, and it's like, okay, let's have someone over the top of our corner. We have to do this, or it's going to be really a long day for us. We saw teams who try to cover him one-on-one with no safety help. Toast him a ghost.
They don't win the Super Bowl, Max, without Tyreek Hill.
Absolutely not. And they have a guy.
Wasp. You can't run Wasp with
Jet Wasp
and Mecole Hardman.
Like, no, and they have Mecole Hardman on the team, and he's supposed to be Tyreek insurance. Everyone said when they drafted him, oh, it's Tyreek insurance because of the domestic violence. He ain't even in the fucking ballpark, Juan.
Yeah, he showed last year. He's not there. He's not there. And this is crazy, bro. Like, as everyone is fucking loading up in the AFC West, you know what the Raiders did, you know what the Chargers did, you know what the Broncos did. The Chiefs, on the other hand, they're fucking unloading. They're getting rid of their players. And I would rather give up Kelsey first rather than give up Tyreek Hill.
Absolutely.
It's so puzzling. It's so puzzling because it's crazy to think that you give up a weapon like this. And I think the next question to ask Max, what's the reason why? Like, what do you think it is? I don't think it's a character thing. Like, I don't think nothing's wrong with him as far as like some legal stuff is coming up.
If it was a character thing, well, he would have been gone a long time ago. Let's just put it like that. I truly think it's because he's 28. You're going to commit a lot of money in him, and I don't think they want to do that. And maybe the NFL wants shifting, where we've always talked about the most valuable thing in the NFL, or let's say the most valuable property in the NFL is a rookie first-round quarterback who's really freaking good, right? Because it gives you all that flexibility. How far behind is a rookie first-round receiver in value to a quarterback?
I mean, as of late, the last 5 years, I don't think it's as close. It's not that close.
I mean, Tyreek Hill for $20 million a year, you're like, woof, yeah. Same thing with Devontae Adams. We're like $20 million a year. We're loving it.
No.
But when it gets to 30, you're like, that's a lot of money for one guy.
Right.
So maybe their philosophy is we can kind of do this as a system. And let's not forget, when the Texans traded Deshaun Watson, I know the results weren't good, but he had his best year statistically.
Yeah.
Or when they traded DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know if I said it backwards. I'm sorry.
That's fine and all, but I
hate it. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I effing hate it. I can't believe we did it. I understand you got a grip. You got a whole draft class basically for Tyreek Hill, which just shows how valuable he is. And it's just, like I said, like you put it perfectly. And that's why I texted that this morning. Are they the worst team in the division now? When every team's loading, gearing up, you just were like, let us help close the gap for you. If we're here and everyone else is here trading Tyreek, sorry, audio listeners, you're going to just make the gap closer. So if you're a 10, if the Chiefs are a 10 and everyone else is a 7, the Chiefs are like, oh, we'll just be an 8. Let's be an 8 for you guys to catch up to us.
Look, I get it, Max, that whole reload with the wide receiver, because it seems like every year in the draft for the last like 5 years, you're going to find one of those guys. And that's easier said than done.
But here's one. You don't find Tyreek Hill. You can find
right.
Devontae Adams, you can find D-Hop, you can find top tier talent. You don't find his skill set often, if ever.
No, it's just speed. You can't teach speed.
No.
And the fact that he's an actual he's not a gadget guy, as we know. He's not a gadget guy. And I can understand if you're the Chargers, and their situation with Mike Williams, a guy that came up, contract extension. You wind up coming off because he's costing a lot of money. You say, you know what? We're going to move on. We're going to get a first round receiver because receivers grow on trees these days. I get that. But like you said, it's the one of a kind in Tyreek Hill.
Does
can't
this
find
mean
another Tyreek.
An identity shift for the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think this changes everything. I mean, look, the offseason's not over. Let's see what they do. But no one, in my opinion, that's in the NFL is going to be able to replace him. I don't care if you get DK Metcalf. I don't care if you get who else are they in the running for? Like Chris Olave and all these guys from Ohio State. I don't care. They're not Tyreek Hill. Look, we have established this in the draft, Max. You have had front row seats to it. You guys got it right one year and got it right the second year. First year, Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson. Oh, yeah, the easy pick is Justin Jefferson. Oh, wait, the Eagles went fucking Jalen Reagor, the bust.
Thank you for reminding me of this awesomeness.
And then the next year was Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. It's 50-50. And you can say that Patrick Mahomes can work with anybody. It's just, it brings a whole different element to having to deal with Tyreek Hill. I'm fucking stunned. I'm stunned that they did this.
This would be like the Colts in their heyday trading Marvin Harrison with Peyton Manning. It's just like he's a part of the identity of this team. And I don't think you can say that about a lot of wide receivers to their team. There might not be a wide receiver more important to his team's success than Tyreek Hill, but they shipped him off to Miami. If you want to shift to their side of things, you talked about how the Raiders drafted Henry Ruggs. The Dolphins got their guy in Jalen Waddle, who was supposed to be their Tyreek Hill, but now they have Tyreek Hill. The only problem is their quarterback has a noodle for an arm. So maybe there probably won't be a lot of deep throws, but I'm guessing they're going to run the ball, and then they're going to take a deep shot, maybe a deep post. And one good thing about Tyreek is if he runs a 20-yard dig, he might take that bitch 80 yards.
Look, I'm not even thinking of it like that. I don't even think he's going to be dangerous from that aspect. I think that part of his game, running a 40-yard post, down the field with Patrick Mahomes, is not going to be existent. That's just something you're not going to be able to do with.
No, I'm talking about you get him the ball at like 15 yards downfield on a dig and just let him.
Yeah, and he can catch.
That's got to be it, because
yeah,
this is one of the least strong arms in football, I would say.
Yeah, but I think he went to literally the best situation for him other than the Chiefs, believe it or not. I really do think so. Look at I know if everyone wants to give all the credit to Kyle Shanahan, go ahead. Okay. But if you read deeper into the lines, McDaniel was a big part of Kyle Shanahan's offense. And what did they do? What did they do with a guy in Jimmy Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel? They made Deebo Samuel look like an all-pro receiver without having to go downfield all that often. Where does Deebo Samuel value come from? It's not catching a fucking 60-yard, 70-yard bombs like Jamar Chase. It's the creative ways to getting them the ball. And when I think of Tyreek Hill, yeah, you think of the bombs with Patrick Mahomes. But what about the end arounds? What about the jet sweeps? Like, he's just as valuable of just getting the ball in his hands. And I think other than Kyle Shanahan, like Mike McDaniels is probably the best situation out there for him. Like, just to get on the ball. Like, yeah, it sucks that Tua has a fucking noodle arm. I get it. I'm not a big fan of him. But Mike McDaniel just got done with a guy in Jimmy Garoppolo getting a team to the playoffs with an offense looking pretty good at times with the guy who can't throw the ball down the field. And Jimmy wasn't throwing bombs. It was all run game and gadget shit with Deebo Samuel and, George Kittle making shit after the catch. It was all about that. And if you look at the pieces with the Dolphins, it's not just Tyreek Hill that they have. Like you said, they signed Teron Armstead. They're starting to get the line together. They got Raheem Mostert, a running back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But hey, you can say that about any NFL player going into the season. It's football. People get hurt. And then you add Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Like, imagine the shit that they're going to do in the backfield with all the different fucking design runs that they can do. And just confuse the living shit out of linebackers. Like, if I'm a linebacker and I play in the AFC East, I'm going to fucking hate it. I'm going to fucking hate it. It's going to be all window dressing in the backfield with these motherfuckers. And I'm excited for them. I hate the ownership for the Dolphins. I'm not changing my point of view about Steve Ross, whatever his name is. But Mike McDaniels as a coach on the offensive side, I love the pieces that they got, and I'm loving the future for it. And as far as Tua, I wouldn't be so quick to say that Tyreek Hill's going to hate it over there just to assume that he can't throw big or can't throw deep down the field.
Does this officially, like, what is this? Does it, like, if it was a 6, or what was Tua's like hot seat at before this trade?
Oh man, I think it's at, it was already hot as it is.
So now it's on fucking fire.
Yeah, I mean, now
you're getting or get off the pot.
Now you're getting into expectations field. I think that's how it got hotter. I think at first, before this trade, it was more like, okay, no more excuses. Like, we're going to give you the tools to do this. And there's not going to be any excuses. Now it's like, okay, now we got expectations. Now we expect our offense to be good. But I have faith in Tua like people have faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, yeah, he's not going to probably winning the game, but Mike McDaniels and Kyle Shanahan find out ways to have an explosive offense with a mediocre quarterback. We've seen it with Jimmy, and Tua and Jimmy are very similar. Like, if I would say, like, Tua coming out of college, like, he was still an accurate guy. He can throw.
I think he's more accurate than Jimmy on the short
Yeah,
stuff.
you can argue that. But, they both throw stupid picks. They both don't have a big arm. And they're pretty crazy in the fucking pocket. Like, once they start doing Playmaker Jimmy or Playmaker Tua, it's a fucking bad recipe. But you know what? Like I said, Kyle Shanahan, they managed it last year. They made it work.
Dude, they were one drop pick away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Tyreek Hill, I would say, is a better version of Deebo Samuel in that offense. And just look at what Deebo Samuel did.
Those are bold words, but I like it. And you said this is going to be like the Niners East. So Trent Williams, that's Teron Armstead.
Right.
Deebo is Tyreek. Jalen Waddle is probably a better version of Ayuk. Gesicki, is he just as good as Kittle now?
Poor man's Kittle.
Just as good. Look, he doesn't get hurt that much, which is good. And then I think the running game, it's never going to be you're going to need a bell cow for this. You're just going to need your 4 guys who are solid. The run game will make them look better than they are. Their offensive line, it's a little solidified. I think that's the big question mark, because the Niners O-line's been very good the last few years, even without like top tier talent. And the Dolphins can get just, I would say, good O-line play. They're going to be dangerous on offense, one for the case you just laid out. I think the Dolphins won this trade. I understand you gave up a first. It wasn't their first round pick. Pretty sure that's the Niners pick they traded.
Now, I'm going to say this. He just turned 28. Devontae Adams was, 29? And the same reasons why I said with Devontae, I said I wouldn't really worry about his age because his game doesn't predicate off speed. That's the opposite with Tyreek Hill. I know he just turned 28, but maybe it's a reason why the Chiefs are letting him go. They're saying, hey, maybe that speed is going to go down every year, and we're not going to pay a guy top dollar for that.
The only thing I push back on one is, even if Tyreek Hill loses a little speed,
he's still
faster than everyone else basically in the NFL, which is insane to say. But no, you make a valid point.
I know you said in the beginning, like, with the shiftiness with Tyreek Hill. I still think Jamar Chase has like similar shiftiness to Tyreek Hill. Like I think they're neck and neck right now. Maybe when Tyreek Hill first came in the league, like his first like two years, I would say Tyreek Hill was on another level. But right now, I think Jamar is on his level as far as like shiftiness, quickness, speed, straight line, all that shit.
Overall, who won the trade?
Miami. I like Miami.
You.
It's a loss for Kansas City. I can't believe they fucking did this. It's absolutely insane.
If they were in a shitty division, I'd be like, this still sucks, but you can still hold the division, still make a playoff game. Yeah. But you're in the most loaded division, and like you said, everyone's gotten better. They got worse. I give Miami the dub, but if Kansas City hits this out of the park, they could easily win the trade. But how often does that happen? The Vikings had 3 first-round picks: Sharif Floyd, Xavier Rhodes, and Bijan Warner. Doesn't always work. Those picks don't always turn into
and you know what, Max?
Don't turn into anything.
You would say, God damn, look how many picks they gave up. They gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks overall.
6. And 5, you're right.
So. Yeah, and only one of them was a first-round pick. They still have like 3 or 4 first-round picks next year. They still have their picks. They're loaded.
They just played the draft really well, which is always a criticism that teams do. Where like, yeah, you took your guy there, but if you trade down, you get loaded with ammunition. They had ammo to use. They used it on Tyreek Hill. They're not going to get a better receiver in the draft. Dolphins made a move. I don't know if they're at the Bills level one, but they just closed the gap, and the Chiefs widened the gap. I mean, they lessened the gap too. And I guess in a sense, both teams made the gap smaller. The only problem was the Chiefs were on top, Dolphins were on bottom.
Right.